is this on? Blinking light, I guess so. Well, good evening, Chicago. It's Friday night and my classes are finally over, which means I get to spend my next half hour with all of you. Psych! It'll be like 15 minutes. I've got better things to do. I'll get to that. Today is, if you've already lost track of time, January 11th of 2058. I've decided that my New Year's resolution is to survive and not to lose 20 pounds. We'll see how it goes. So, where I left you, disaster had literally just struck, right? Like, what kind of luck is that? You press record and disaster strikes? Like, Jesus, I know. Well, my car got me home and it got me back here, but I haven't seen any open gas stations, like, even once I leave downtown, so that's great. Oh, and it snowed yesterday, which is exciting. It's the sticky snow, so my neighbors went out to build some snowmen. And by neighbors, I mean the girl that sat behind me in math last year and her 2 little brothers. I haven't really seen anyone other than them, my host brother and that boy from last week. I mean, I haven't even seen that boy since last week. The neighbor girl, she goes by RJ. She said that World War III just started. All the adults around here are gone because they've been drafted. Go figure. I mean, I didn't know drafts worked that fast, but I never really pay attention in history, and I guess it's been a while since we've had a war. I mean, the government could have easily just driven by and said, "Get in, you're fighting a war," and like, what are you gonna do? Say no? Like, Jesus Christ, you could have gotten little notifications from their implants, and when the government contacts you via implant, that's serious business. Really, I mean, I can hack almost anything that works, but I haven't figured out implant notifications. Granted, I really don't need them, but imagine the look on my friends' faces when I send them one of those dumb songs from the 20s and they can't do anything but let it play. What gratification. Sorry, I got off topic. So, what, is this World War III? And they started in Chicago, of all places? Except they haven't, because there's no military activity here, and I would know, like, you pass Millennium Park and the Apple Tower to get to the studio. If you were gonna wreak some havoc when you start there, I mean, whatever, it makes my life easier. I just have my doubts. I think I'm gonna have to drag RJ onto here. Soon, too, before my car runs out of gas. I mean, I don't really know if she knows the truth, but whatever this is has gotta be better than nothing, right? I'll ask her about it when I get home. She and her brothers have been staying at my house because we're the only house on the block with a wood-burning fireplace. Everyone else either has electric or they're just gone, drafted, whatever. I really wouldn't blame people if they just got up and left. Maybe they have family in a city that still has power. I mean, how do you know if they still have power? That's kind of a shot in the dark, isn't it? Whatever. I wish I could go back to North Dakota. But, like, it wouldn't be practical, would it? What happens when I run out of gas when there's still no open gas stations? I die. That's what happens. Well, I mean, I'm sure I could find someone who knows how to siphon gas, but how long is that practical for? I guess it's worth mentioning that my car is a hybrid. I don't completely hate the planet, but it's from the early 30s, and I was about to switch back to gas last week, and as great as this solar studio is, I don't think it's got a cord meant for cars. Really, if it did, it wouldn't be for people like me, even though I'm the only person here. I'm sorry. Again, I'm still thinking about that draft idea. Would these government people really not let a group of college kids finish their broadcast? At least get some information out to the people? Just, like, what did that sound like when Andrew's, like, talking and he's like, "Oh, sorry guys, I have to go now. The government needs me." Like, what? I mean, I don't know. I wasn't listening. I was getting coffee, which, by the way, I ran out of on Wednesday. What'll happen when all the food runs out? Like, that's how I die. Not from the war, if it's even happening, but from my starvation. Pathetic. I mean, I've basically got a 4-person home split between me and my host brother, so we'll last at least a month or two. And I don't know, RJ's got 3 people in what's normally a 6-person home. I mean, really, do my neighbors even exist anymore? Can I just throw a rock into the Petersons' house and raid their fridge? I don't know. Yeah, RJ's home is normally 6 people. Her brother was home from college and her parents are still together, so she should be okay. Her brothers are old enough. They're not like on baby food or anything. I think I called them younger brothers, little brothers, but I think they're like 7 years old and 10 years old. Not that you should care. Again, I'm forced to wonder, is anyone listening to this? Like, what are the chances of tuning into this unless you were listening last week? And even then, getting the time right, you know? Like, I think if this had happened, you know, maybe you'd break out the radio ASAP, and then you'd break it out Saturday, and if you don't hear anything, maybe you'd try again later on Saturday or on Sunday. Would you try every day? Would you happen to try today? Would you be as lucky as to tune in on this Friday in this 15-minute interval? I don't know, that'd be pretty lucky. Or unlucky if you hate me, that's fine. I think I'm gonna look for that kid with the bike when I'm done with this. I've only got a few minutes before I'm done with this. I'll admit though, I like that this place still has heat. I mean, it's freezing. There's snow on the ground. It's just eerie that no one's here. I keep it locked though, so no one should be here. I could move in, right? Like, no one else is using it. When my gas runs out, I can't keep this up. Do I need to keep this up? Does Harvard care? I don't know. And I mean, like, really, there's still that food problem, whether I'm here or whether I'm at home or whether I'm at my neighbor's house because my neighbor fell off the face of the earth and I'm eating their canned beans. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's winter. I can't just plant some carrots and be set. But I don't know what else to do other than just cross that bridge when I get to it, which I guess I'll do. Even, like, in the summer, it'd be hard to grow food. Because we're in Chicago. It's not like this war picked a bad time. It's just that, again, we live in Chicago. I'm sorry, I'm saying that a lot. You know where you are. I don't need to remind you of where you are, but what am I gonna do? Dig up Millennium Park to plant potatoes? No. I mean, I could. Ugh, I'm really glad I have this wind-up watch. Like, I think I complained last week because it's not a hollow watch. The only information it gives me is the time. But my host brother, his name is Leon. I guess I don't need to keep calling him my host brother. But his hollow watch isn't doing anything. It'll project, but it's not projecting information. It's just a little blue square. I wonder if he's tried to fly a drone, maybe run a camera from it. I don't know how he'd get the video off it. I guess I'll bring that up to him. I'll forget it. I should write that down for him. Wow, that's riveting content. I'm sorry. I wish I could play you some music, really. If I could figure out some 24/7 solution, that'd be great. At least people would know that this is a functioning station, and I could run some Nova Jackson reports for WSPK on Fridays at 5 p.m., but only for like 15 minutes, so I hope you make it every half hour or something. Wish this hollow screen would work, because that wouldn't be too hard to set up. Didn't I come up with some word for WSPK last week? I mean, I swear I barely remember last week. I remember that no one was here except for that kid on his bike. Spunk, right. maybe we can speak that into existence, eh? I mean, it takes courage to drive home in the middle of frickin' World War III from a radio studio that may or may not get you into Harvard University. Ugh. Well, I have nothing more to say. If you're a school friend, I know some of you listen to this, come to my house and tell me what's happening from your point of view. Did your parents disappear? Did you also try to go to school last Monday? Like, they didn't call and say, due to World War III, classes have been canceled until further notice. Like, are you keeping up on your history notes? Are you working ahead in your math book? I don't know. Does it matter? Am I gonna graduate? I mean, really, I don't know. Oh. Man, this is kind of like ruining my life here. Harvard, I'm begging you, girl. Well, I don't want to leave. Because I haven't been here for 15 minutes. I've got 3 left? It's not hard to fill 3 minutes with talking. I can talk about really dumb things for 3 minutes. Like, how I was talking last week about that president. Yeah, he was a president. I looked through my U.S. history textbook. He was a president during, I think, the Great Depression, which basically the United States' economy just sucked, and I guess Chicago's economy kind of sucks right now. Like, I don't know what else you would call this other than, literally World War III. If it's happening again, I don't know. I haven't talked to anyone that isn't Leon or RJ, so that's great. I mean, I guess I talked to that kid on the bike, which I hope is still existing in this general area. And I guess I talked to RJ's brothers, but, how's that video game going, buddy? Like, that's not a meaningful conversation. And they're really upset because their video games aren't working. So, whatever. I don't know, is it narcissistic of me to compare myself to a president? I mean, all I'm trying to do is get into Harvard, right? Like, that's not commendable. I think this is also maybe a form of therapy. I don't know. All I know is that I'm kind of freaking out a little, but not telling anyone except for potentially all of Chicago. God, I really wish I remembered that phone number, so I could be like, call into the station and tell me what the heck is going on. And again, has every adult been drafted? What's the point of only drafting adults? You're just leaving all of us kids here to die. So that's really fun. I really love that for us. But, God, it's like how my dad talks. I'm sorry. My dad, is big into history, so he, picks out phrases from, I don't know, 2020, and he'll just, use them, and when we're like, Dad, stop. Not my bio dad, my host dad. Sorry for that confusion. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll talk to you next week. Stay alive, Chicago. Thanks for checking out my little project. The voice of Nova Jackson is Catherine Bradison. This episode was written by Catherine Bradison and recorded in my bedroom. Thanks for listening to it. You can find us online with Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and you can listen with YouTube or SoundCloud. And hey, thanks for being a pal.